Welcome to another video. All right, today we have this nice quadratic question. That's quadratic equation problem to solve. Okay, very simple question. Now we have a piece of wire of length 1 meter is cut into two parts, and each part is bent to form a square. If the total area of the two squares formed is 325 square centimeters, find the perimeter of each square. So which means now it is important for us to convert this unit, the 1 meters, convert it into centimeters. Okay, that is, all units must be converted into centimeters because the total area of the two squares formed is 325 square centimeters. So which means it is important to note that 1 meter length is equals to 100 centimeters. So which means, now let's say we have a wire piece. Now the length of this piece of wire is 100 centimeters. Okay, 100 centimeters. Now the wire is cut into two parts, and each part is bent to form a square. Now let's say the wire is cut into, now we have the wire to be cut into two parts. So the first piece, let's say the first piece is labeled PQ, and let's represent the length of the first piece of one piece to be what? Y, and then the length of the other piece to be 100 minus Y centimeters. Okay, we have 100 minus Y centimeters. So that will be PQR. So one piece, so we can say that let one piece, okay, one piece of the wire, okay, be of length Y centimeters, and the other piece is of length 100 minus Y centimeters. Okay, so the first now PQ, okay, has a length of Y centimeters. Now the other piece of the wire has a length of 100 minus Y centimeters. Now we have that each is bent to form a square. So which means that the square formed from the first piece, the square formed from the piece of wire of length Y centimeters will have a side length. Okay, the side length will be, it will now be Y over 4 centimeters, because a square has 4 sides. So what I'm saying is that, so the first piece is bent to form a square. So the side length of the square will be Y over 4 centimeters. So we have Y over 4 centimeters. Now the area of the square formed, now the area would be Y over 4, okay, multiplied by Y over 4, and that will be Y square over 16 square centimeters. So that's for the first piece. Now then for the other piece, okay, now we can also have the square formed from the other piece of wire, of length 100 minus Y centimeters, okay, will have a side length. Okay, the square formed from the other piece of wire of length this, we have a side length of 100 negative Y over 4 centimeters. That is, well, the square would be, the side length of the square would be 100 minus Y over 4, okay, centimeters each. 100 minus Y over 4 centimeters. So the area of the second square, so A2, area of the second square will be 100 negative Y multiply by 100 negative y over 4. Okay, 100 negative y over 4 multiplied by 100 negative y over 4. So when we combine this, so we are going to have the area of the second square to be 100 minus y raised to the power of 2 over what? 16 in square centimeters. Okay, so that's why it is important to convert all units into what? Centimeters. All right, so we are given here that the total area of the two squares formed is 325. So which means the total area is 225 square centimeters. So the total area will be A1 plus A2, and that will be 325 equals to, now the first area, that's area of the first square, that is A1, that will be y square over 16 plus the second square, which is 100 minus y square over what? 16. All right, so we can multiply this equation by 16. So this will be 325 multiplied by 16. Now 16 multiplied by y squared over 16, that will be y squared. Okay, then 16 multiplied by 100 negative y squared over 16, that will be 100 negative y raised to the power of 2. Okay, so let's get the value for 325. 325 multiplied by 16, that will be 5200. So we have 5200 equals to y squared plus, now when we expand the square of 100 minus y, that will be 10,000. Okay, that will be 10,000 negative 10,000 negative 200y, then plus y squared, 200y plus y squared. Okay, so by combining like terms, let's combine like terms and then write the equation. Now we already have a quadratic equation, so y squared plus y squared, that will be 2y squared. Then we have, then also negative 200y, so we have y squared minus 200y. Okay, then we have to move this to the other side, so we then have plus 10,000 minus 5,200. 5,200. So this would be 2y squared. Okay, then negative 200y. So 10,000 minus 5,200, that will be 4,800. So equals to 0. So now we have a quadratic equation. Now let's divide this equation by 2. Let's reduce the equation. Dividing this by 2, we're going to have y squared negative 100y plus that will be 2400. 2400 equals to 0. Yeah, 2400 equals to 0. That will be, when we divide this by 2, that will be y squared. And then when 200y is divided by 2, that will be negative 100y. Then 4,800 divided by 2, that will be 2,400. Okay, now let's use quadratic formula. Let's use quadratic formula, or we can still get the factors of 2400. Okay, so in this case, the factors will be negative 60y, negative 40y plus 2,400 equals to 0. So this will be y negative 60, okay, then negative 40 into y negative 60 equals to 0. Y times y, that will be y squared. That is when we distribute y in this case. Okay, to remove the parentheses, y multiplied by y, that will be y squared. Y multiplied by negative 60, that will be negative 60y. Negative 40 multiplied by y, that will be negative 40y. Negative 40 multiplied by negative 60, that will be positive 2,400. Okay, that's correct. So we have y negative 40, okay, then y negative what? 60 equals to 0. So the value of y, so when we use what we call the zero product identity, so we have y negative 40, okay, equals to 0, or y negative 60 equals to 0. So the value of y would be 40 centimeters, or y equals to 60 centimeters. Okay, so now remember, we want to find the perimeter of each square. We want to find the perimeter of each square. So let's get the perimeter of the square with area A1. Okay. Now, so for the first square, now for square, let's do this way. For square with side length y. Okay, so we know that now with side length y over 4, so it means that the side length, okay, will then be, when y equals to 40, centimeters, when y equals to 40 centimeters, which is what, 10 centimeters, then the perimeter will be 4 multiplied by 10, and that will be what, 40 centimeters. Okay, now when y is equals to 100, when y equals to 60, okay, also when y is equals to, now here we have 60, when y equals to 60 centimeters, so it's going to be 60 divided by 4, which is what, 15 centimeters. Now the perimeter will be equals to 4 multiplied by 15, which will be what, 60 centimeters. So find the perimeter of each square. So now if I put the value of y here, when y is 40, so 100 minus 40, that will be 60. 60 divided by 4, that will be 15. So I'll still get the same perimeter, which is what, 60 centimeters. Now when y is equals to 60, so 100 minus 60, that will be 40. 40 divided by 4, that will be 10. So 4 multiplied by 10 is what, 40. Because the perimeter of a square, remember, perimeter of square, the perimeter of square is 4 times the side length of the square. Exactly. So which means the perimeter of each square would be 40 centimeter, okay, and what, and 60 centimeters. The perimeter of each square will be 40 centimeters and what, and 60 centimeters respectively. So 40 centimeters and 60 centimeters respectively, and that is the answer to the question. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. Bye bye.